Alright, welcome back. Last time we've continued with colonization. I also have managed to reform outside of tribal state into an actual modernized monarchy. And I also built the last level for trade building. So now I've got an important center of trade here. And Renaissance is already spreading and will arrive at my capital relatively soon. So about 20 months from now. So, early 1592? Mid 1592? Not 1592, 1595. Yeah, around that. Oh, I forgot a casual literacy raising the costs. Okay, maybe I should have gotten this first. Oh well. Private watchmen. Frustrated with the limited scope of the police, private individuals seeking justice began hiring watchmen who worked for pay. Number of states +1. Yay. Probably should say what Renaissance gave me. Minus 10% to construction costs, +1 possible advisor. So things are a little bit cheaper for me to build. Yippee! Mannerism, a new school of art which emerged from the Renaissance, notable for its intellectual sophistication and tension. It spread rapidly throughout Europe and remained popular for centuries. Admin efficiency +5 can now build the rank 4 mine complex. But I don't tend to work with mines. The astrolabe. The mariner's astrolabe was a much more accurate, or astrolabe? I'll just call it astrolabe. It's a much more accurate tool for navigation than the Jacob's cross. Invented in the 10th century, they made their way beyond their world only slowly. As they did, they were adopted with enthusiasm. I may now slander merchants. Trade range +50, naval morale +0.1. By this point, I can reach, yes, all of Africa, as well as South America. At least all that I know of it. As well as the Atlantic coast, Iberia, and the Western Mediterranean. And the Tyrrhenian Sea. Tyrrhenian Sea. That's as far as I can reach. Alright. Continuing on. Alright, I can pick the second level now. Bureaucracy is unavailable because I need to embrace the Chinese meritocracy institution, which has only spread as far west as Iran. And on east-west wise, I'm at around the same level as Central Europe. It's gonna be a while. I have to delegate rulers, which will raise monthly autonomy change, or roving court, which will lower maximum centralization. Neither of which I like. Personal preference would really be bureaucracy. Question is, what do I want? Cheaper state maintenance and cores? Cheaper states and cores? Or less unrest, more stability, and more income from vassals? I really don't want to raise autonomy change. On the other hand, well, centralization only does it by 0.06 for every 10 centralization. It also does a lot of stuff. That's really hard to, well, specify exactly what is going on. So I think I'll actually just take roving court rather than delegated rulers. Oh yeah, in case you're unaware, roving court is one of the older power structures in, well, at least I know this from the perspective of Europe. It's a power structure where the king constantly moves around the country and has the capital be at different points at different times of the year. This slowly disappeared as, well, thanks to society growing more and more complex with time, which tends to be a natural trend in human civilization. Slowly societies grow more and more complex as more people live in them, unless some sort of disaster occurs, like Black Death, or the wiping out of the New World by illnesses like smallpox. Yeah. As they grow more complex, it tends to be cheaper, or at least less troublesome, to stay in one place, rather than to move around. Which is why, but however, still communication was pretty bad, so delegated rulers. You deal with this area, you deal with that area, I'll stay here and deal with my area. Right, realist politics. Italian statesman Niccolo Machiavelli wrote a treatise on statecraft called The Prince, which was published posthumously in 1532. In it, he advised rulers on how to rule. Specifically, he advised them to disregard ethics and consider only the outcomes of their actions, justifying violence and lies if it benefited the state. His ideas, although shocking, proved inspirational to many. Some added history on that: he didn't actually believe those things. He only said those because he thought that the ruler of Florence, who ended up exiling him for political reasons, he thought that the guy was a ruthless ass, and so wrote a treatise that promoted such behavior, thinking he might actually get it back in. Of course, the fact that he never published it means that he probably didn't manage to get back into Florence. Yeah. Okay, to improve communication here, definitely I need to build a harbor. Trade harbor. Probably smart to do it here too. And here. Honestly, the main reason why the so fine is that because also I don't know. Base value -5 might have to do with the fact that it's a small island. Eh. Would be smart to at least invest a little bit into them. I built a fishing port. Well, I guess that's all it takes in some places. Especially in newly colonized trading cities. Right, now let's finally get that communication set up. Especially since communication is all around terrible here. It also helped Luongo set one up, in preparation for eventually me annexing them. Pretty sure that the communication to here is updated. Definitely. This used to be rather poor, but now it's rapid communication with 50 days. This one used to be over 80. Now it's 17 days. This one was over 70. Oh, that's one was over 80. This one was like 77. This one was like 83. And now look at it, 19 days. Yeah, the provinces will definitely have a lot better time communicating. I also plan on turning this one into a city since it has a natural harbor plus a gap in strait. So, as modifiers, of course. So they will honestly be a bit easier to work with trade-wise. Well, this one will probably end up being the trade harbor for this province right here, for this sea zone. So I can bring it all the way up to level 4. There is no natural harbor over here in the Gulf of Kongo sea zone. Closest we have is the Kongo estuary here, which not a natural harbor. This one is though. We also have a great natural harbor here, however this one already is, I believe, considered it. Yeah, it's considered part of the coast of Bangalore, the sea zone, with regards to port. So I can just focus on getting this one all the way up to max for the military harbor, which is how you make use of a big natural harbor. Max out the military harbor. You can't have two different kinds of max level harbors though. Gymnasium schools. Let's see here. Quality, why not? The first secondary school, or gymnasium, was established in Strasbourg in 1538. Designed to prepare boys for university, it taught them academic subjects for several years. It soon became the model for education across Europe. +1 idea group. Alright, I think that should be good for now. I'll just finish up the road here, since I now have the last of the manpower. There we go. Yeah, I've been focusing on building up roads in various provinces, in the 3 close port cities, which is what I'm going to be calling these. They've also built one in the Kongo, and one in Katambo. I've also went ahead and built a canal, irrigation canal in Luanda, since they produce palm oil and are actually quite tiny for a province. Which makes it incredibly cheap for me to do this. It will also promote growth of the rural population, which will continue to help produce food. Which is still somewhat important. I've also went ahead and built trading harbors for these 3, since communication problems meant that any increase in unrest would actually be pretty troublesome. With that, it should be less of an issue. I've also been continuing some colonization, for example, in this province. These 2 have become fully colonized. I've started colonizing here, and over here in St. Helena. I'll probably continue over here, as well as going down the South African coastline, and then eventually start colonizing, say, Brazil. I do want to eventually get globalized trade going. However, I need Diplotech 29. I need to have merchants in 2 trade nodes that are not on the same continent, and then either have 2 colonies or a colony and a province that happens to be owned by a trade company. I can only set provinces to trade companies that aren't on my continent, though. However, theoretically, I could just grab something over here. Yeah, in MENA. The MENA continent. Heck, I could just go to Somalia and it would be enough. East African Charter. In fact, I think I might have done that at one point as skill wall. which, by the way, no longer exists. Yeah, they're not here anymore. Wow. Zanzibar took them over, I guess. That's here. New Granada, English Haiti. Not much difference here. Commonwealth formed, I'm sure of that. Kaimar are definitely having a large amount of control in this area. Iran's a mess. Let's see how institutions have spread. Casual literacy's penalty is maxed out. Yeah. Meritocracy is still stuck in Iran. Hasn't spread any further westwards. Although it has reached for Iran by now. I wonder if it's a lack of art and intellectual centers that's causing this. Yeah, this being regional rather than continental might be hindering its spread. It just makes me wonder where the continental is now. For MENA. Oh well. More importantly, how's casual literacy spreading? Still hasn't reached Africa, however, it does seem to have reached most of Western Europe, and Denmark Norway has formed. And they seem to have eaten at least most of Sweden. The parts of Sweden then that are visible to me. At least the flag doesn't look that bad. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, there was one other thing. Mipango, I think? Well, the second city. I've upgraded the buildings to accommodate an 80k population rather than 40k. So, that's all for now. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.